So it's in this historical context that Du Bois is writing the souls of Black folk and articulating the situation of Black people in America. That, despite the 13th and 15th Amendment, things are still difficult and there is still a great deal of work to be done. And in this context, he asks, how does it feel to be a problem? And this is a question that continues to resonate, as do many of the sorts of ways that Du Bois has in this book of describing the situation for Black folk in America. That white people dance around this in ways, but the fundamental idea is that that you, as you exist, are a problem in the nation. And I think that way of feeling has not gone away, and it's important to try to figure out why not. And going back to this early 20th century era and looking at the transition from slavery to freedom and the restrictions on Black people that are imposed despite freedom is an important way to get perspective on why Black people then felt and often still feel like they're a problem. And in particular, Du Bois here is asking, how does it feel? And here is how he talks about the first way, his first experience feeling like he's a problem. And this is in chapter 1 on page 10. I remember well when the shadow swept across me. I was a little thing, away up in the hills of New England, where the dark Housatonic winds between Hoosac and Taconic to the sea. In a wee wooden schoolhouse, something put it into the boys' and girls' heads to buy gorgeous visiting cards, 10 cents a package, and exchange. The exchange was merry, till one girl, a tall newcomer, refused my card, refused it peremptorily with a glance. Then it dawned upon me with a certain suddenness that I was different from the others, or like mayhap in heart and life and longing, but shut out from their world by a vast veil. I had thereafter no desire to tear down that veil, to creep through. I held all beyond it in common contempt, and lived above it in a region of blue sky and great wandering shadows. That sky was bluest when I could beat my mates at examination time, or beat them at foot race, or even beat their stringy heads. Alas, with the years, all this fine contempt began to fade. For the worlds I longed for, and all their dazzling opportunities, were theirs, not mine. And later, Du Bois describes one of the most poignant feelings of alienation as a person of color in the United States. After the Egyptian and Indian, the Greek and Roman, the Teuton and Mongolian, the Negro is a sort of seventh son, born with a veil and gifted with second sight in this American world, a world which yields him no true self-consciousness, but only lets him see himself through the revelation of the other world. It is a peculiar sensation, this double consciousness, the sense of always looking at oneself through the eyes of others, of measuring one's soul by the tape of a world that looks on in amused contempt and pity. One ever feels his two-ness, an American, a Negro, two souls, two thoughts, two unreconciled strivings, two warring ideals in one dark body, whose dogged strength alone keeps it from being torn asunder. And, as you look at these passages and think about what Du Bois is saying in his description of the veil and double consciousness, keep thinking about what he means by being born with a veil. What sort of experience is the experience of double consciousness? Have you experienced double consciousness, or have you not? Why might you have experienced it? Why might you not? Is this something that's familiar to you? So keep thinking about that. Keep thinking about what he's trying to get at with these descriptions, and what the source of them is.